I mean, you could start it that way. Yeah. All right, you're listening to the SpiceRice, where rice is tea, truth is spicy, and like MSG, we make truth taste better.
Yo,
bars.
Those are bars, bro.
Bars.
Cheers to that, right?
Oh yeah. Cheers to our first.
Oh, where's my soju?
Yo,
Okay.
bro.
Cheers to
Cheers to the first episode. guys. Cheers to the first episode.
Beautiful.
My name is Eric.
Oh,
My name is Berwin.
wait. Am I next?
Yeah.
I'm Daniel.
Daniel's not in the frame right now,
Yeah.
but it's
He's
okay.
there.
You don't need to know about
He's
that.
here. He's here.
He's here.
for sure.
And we have a very special guest.
Yes, sir. We have a special guest today, Boston University graduate, written and produced 2 albums called The Quiet Kids Are Talking in 2022 and Seasons 2024. Editor, producer, director of what once was the Unfiltered podcast, aspiring actor that has starred in a Yale doorbell and a recent Cash App commercial, along with minor roles, and longtime colleague, friend, and brother from another mother, the multi-talented Elias Tapia. Thank you for having us. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for coming. I said thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
That was an excellent intro right there.
That was fire. Damn.
Thank you.
Damn, made me feel better than I am. That's awesome, dude. Thank you guys for having me. No, can't wait to talk with y'all.
How are you? How's everything going?
Good, dude. Right now I'm here in Jersey, visiting the fam for 2 weeks right now. I'm on my second week, and I called out of work for this entire week, so now I get to just truly enjoy.
He called out for this specific
For
podcast.
this,
Yeah,
I had to pull some strings, man. It was, No, but thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because just for anyone out there listening, me and him used to have a podcast, and that was like years ago. What were we talking, like 3-4 years ago now?
More. This
And
was
now
like 2017.
I'm part of this podcast, and it comes full circle because
Yeah.
I ended off it with him, and I'm starting a new, basically without him, and but with another great group of people, and it's super exciting. It was definitely bittersweet. You know, everyone had to go go away and do their own things. But it's just a beautiful thing to have you here and have you back in this space, because you know how long I've been wanting to get back on the mics and just chat and stuff like that. So
Yeah, no, and like I was telling y'all, it's like it feels cool to be on the other end. You know, when we had the podcast, it was just like we did it for like 2 years, I feel like, something like that. And then organizing everything, having guests, that sort of thing was a journey. But like what I enjoyed from that, and like since this is y'all's first episode, is to just always remember to like enjoy having fun with this, you know? It's like
Absolutely.
this should be fun. And what's it called? Because you guys are making memories with each other. So it's like, I remember all our chats, the funny stuff, and I still have them all archived, but it's every now and then.
The ups, the downs.
Yes, and I listen to them all. So so
it's really
it's a nice
awesome.
transition.
And speaking about like doing their own things, you have pursued the whole acting thing, right? So you moved basically on the other side of the nation
Yeah.
to the West Coast. You left the East Coast.
Yeah.
You left your boys.
I know.
And
Y'all never gonna let that down.
hell no. Until this day, I'm as good as close as friends we will ever be.
Yeah.
There's still a little hurt inside me that you left, but
Yeah.
hey, it happens. It's
You
part
can
of
cry
life.
right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
I might. Yo,
Might.
that was nice. That's a little sound of it.
Yeah.
I was trying to find.
Wait, add it.
I was trying to find the right sound, and I'm like, looking for it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like, moving, going away from, like, basically leaving everyone behind. Like, how's that journey been? Like, what are the ups, the downs, of just being by yourself out there? I know it's just as difficult as it is there than it is here, especially with the cost and just like the overall atmosphere change, the environment, the people. Like what are the pros and what are the cons of just being out there and trying to pursue what you want?
Yeah. So, I mean, I knew, like, I kind of had a feeling I was going to leave Jersey and go to LA for a while. So, like, about like 2018 and 2019 I was still in college in Boston, and I was like, yeah, if I'm going to be in film and television, I got to be in LA. At the time I thought I wanted to do, my journey was like cinematography, And then it was writing, directing, because in the school, the film program, you shuffle all these different roles. And then you get to a point where then you kind of decide what you want to do. And then so I did a little bit of everything, and it got to the point where while I was there, I was doing a lot of student films. And that kind of opened this door to me, because I kind of was already acting back in like middle school, high school. Berwin and I would have like YouTube sketches. And so I've been acting for the longest time. It's just I never said to people I want to be an actor, like professionally. That was just, I always said, nah, I want to do video editing. I want to do behind the scenes work. I don't want to be in front of a camera. But nah, something clicked during college. And then, went to LA, and I kind of knew there was going to be some sacrifices with that. And so, like, to answer your questions about, like, pros and cons, what it's like living there, what's it called? I would say I think the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like with every decision, you know, you got to learn to, like, enjoy everything that comes with it, good and bad, and just appreciate it for what it is. So it's like, yeah, it's expensive over there, sure.
And how old were you when you made that decision?
So I moved to LA at 22. Jeez. So I'm 26 now, and at 22, but I made that decision around like when I was 21. Let me make sure the timeline's right. I just remembered was that COVID happened. And I had to, similar to what we were talking about, similar to what we were talking about, I wanted to graduate as fast as possible. I was double majoring advertising and film at the time, and it was going to be a long ass time. But COVID made me be like, yo, I kind of want to like speed this thing up. Let me go out there. And so for a year and a half, so I want to say like from 2020 up until 2022, I was just working, saving my money up. And then my roommate at the time was like, hey, you want to live in? Let's move in together. And then so 2022 was when I showed up over there.
Interesting.
Are you part of the union as well?
I'm eligible now.
Eligible.
Yeah.
So SAG-AFTRA?
So SAG-AFTRA eligible.
Is it
and now,
Zac Efron?
yeah.
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Zac Efron eligible. Yeah.
Hey.
Eligible with Zac Efron. You can't get to the acting industry.
Yeah, that's the only way, dude.
Oh, okay.
You know, but yeah, SAG-AFTRA eligible. It's as you know, like it's a decision when you do that,
Right.
Yeah, because it's like you got to pay a due to get in, and then there's monthly, and it's also a business career decision of whether or not you want to go all the way, because then you're forced to only do SAG-AFTRA productions. You can't go back to non-union.
Okay.
Like if you wanted to do a short film and I was SAG-AFTRA, even though we're homies, I legally cannot join. I can't unless you make your production a SAG-AFTRA. You had to fill out papers. So
But you're my boy.
I can't. I'd get in trouble. So
We made legal repercussions right here.
yeah, this right now I'm breaking a bunch of rules doing this.
Man.
You know?
He's about to disappear after this.
Yeah, dog.
He's gonna give us all the industry insights.
Yeah, dog. And then
Oh,
peace
shit.
out. You know?
Damn.
Yeah. But you're saying like to know a little bit. So you did acting yourself?
I did
What was
acting as
your-
well. Yeah. I did a little projects here and there. I did background acting too for Mr. Robot.
What?
Yeah. And somehow I got into the frame.
What?
Yo,
I
let's
got
go.
into the frame and I was on the TV network. It was actually shown on as a commercial.
Damn,
I was at a Chinese airport.
dog.
I'm Korean.
Oh!
Yo, it's cooking.
I see. We put the right person on.
it's cooking, bro.
We didn't see none of this last time. But yeah, I was actually given that role, and I went to, I think over there in upstate. By like I think close to like the Chase Towers. And over there, we did pretty much the recording the whole day. But I didn't know background acting was so difficult.
Dog, I was going to tell you that. Yeah, like what you thought about. Because background acting, it's a job. You're there. I mean, sometimes 9 hours, sometimes 12 hours. I did my share of background acting in New York. I was in this show, Empire. They have three different Empires.
Yeah.
I think it's like the second type of show that they got. Empire and this Apple TV show. I'm blanking on the name, but yeah, I did like a bunch of days doing that in New York. I was doing that during COVID. Like those background gigs, for those that don't know, it's a whole process, and then you basically just have to be on alert. You know, sometimes you're just waiting. You're waiting until it's your turn.
It's a good networking event, honestly.
Yeah,
because you see certain actors that actually live off of that.
Yes,
Just background acting yourself.
Well, that's the thing too about the union is that what I learned once I became eligible was like once you join the union, there's dues. Like there's if you want health insurance, you have to reach a certain number of hours to basically qualify for health insurance. Kind of similar to like a real job where you have to work days, like 90 days or whatever. But in film, you have to rack up these credits.
Yeah.
So a lot of these actors do background acting as a living so that they get health insurance.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, you meet a bunch of actors on the grind. I made some friends, and because you have to pass the time. You're there for a long time. So it's good. You meet some people along the way.
Yeah, good friends over there. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Very
9 hours, 12 hours and stuff. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're part of the union now.
Eligible.
Eligible.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm allegedly eligible. I'm eligible. What's it called? So what that means is just that now it's up to me to decide if I want to drop, I think it's like $3,000 as initiation fee. And then every year it's like $200 a year that you have to pay these dues. But yeah, it's more of a business decision. My agent told me like, as of right now, it's
said
best.
Agent.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But like she told me, it's best to be in the middle because as of now, I could do all the non-union stuff.
Yeah.
And I still have, I think, 2 more credits.
Yeah.
So like, meaning I could do another SAG-AFTRA without joining. Once it's your third one, you are forced to.
Okay.
Like there's no if you have to join, but they give you 2 more technically. So she's like, why not enjoy you get both sides, for now, because you have to be in this position to feel like I'm ready for this, to do that next step. Because now you're competing with the big actors. Yeah. All the actors you see on television, they're all in SAG-AFTRA. So once you join that union, theoretically, you have to think like that. You're joining that.
So as of recently, there was a writer's strike. And it just recently came to a close. If I'm being
well, so the writer's strike, there was one,
and also I'm sorry to cut you off. Does that have any relation to back to the union that you're eligible for?
Yeah. Okay. So the writers' union strike happened around 2022. Wait, no. Let me make sure I got that right.
Wasn't it during COVID?
It was in 2023, I believe.
Okay. Well, there's an actors' union. Like the SAG-AFTRA had their own union.
Right. Okay.
That was during, I think, 2022. And the writers' union, I guess there are implications. There are things that affect actors with that. The difference, I guess, is that like when that whole thing happened, like work kind of slows down. Yes. So like the writers, what happens is like, so when that writer strike, because there was a writer strike, if I'm not mistaken, maybe around COVID time, there was rumblings about a writer's strike.
Oh, it seems that it happens pretty often.
But yeah, it happened. Oh no, it happens a lot. No, there was one in like early 2000s.
Bro, like this nothing.
Yeah, well,
just another day in work.
Yeah, because all it really is, these strikes. What happens is the writers or the actors they realize, oh shit, we're getting the wrong end of the stick here, and like we gotta step up. We can't just let this shit happen.
Yeah,
and so what they do is. So they do the strike. With actors, the problem was the AI stuff. They were like, "Yo, you're taking like the background actor stuff that we were talking about."
Yeah,
AI before unless they didn't do the strike, there was too much freedom for AI to theoretically like just get rid of background actors, just use AI to fill those spaces. Yeah. So to answer your question, with the actors being affected by any writer strike, it just means shit gets slowed down in production, and that's when you start seeing like a rise in like reality TV because you don't need writers for that. So that's where like during the 2000s that happened, and then so like reality TV was on the come up because you don't need writers for that. Yeah. So yeah, it does affect actors.
I never knew that.
No, yeah.
So does this affect? Does this more affect, or doesn't even matter?
Yeah.
For bigger actors or upcoming actors like yourself?
Everybody gets affected in their own way. Big actors do because if they're in the middle of a movie shoot, and that gets once there's a strike, maybe not in movies because once the script is set, it's set. But TV shows, there's writers' rooms. So a lot of shows recently had that when the writers' strike happened. Now that you mention it, 2023 kind of makes sense. There's like a show called the Barry on HBO.
Oh, I love that show.
Yes. So they were affected by the strike. A lot of shows get affected by the strike, meaning like there was a season 4, but they couldn't get
That's
to
why
it.
One of the seasons took mad long to push out.
Because of the strike.
I was getting pissed.
Writers weren't allowed to start writing anything.
Right.
Bro's over there in the fucking boxers and the stuff, keep complaining about, oh yeah, this shit is not coming out. Meanwhile, everybody's fighting for their job.
Dog. Yeah, it's like the fuck. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I feel like doing this, it's I've learned, for better or for worse, like the whole movie thing, before I knew everything, like that magic goes away. You know, like telling these things to Berwin is funny because it's like you're learning like, wow, why all these things are being affected.
Yeah.
I was in those shoes, but then once you start seeing it, it's like now I watch movies and it's like I appreciate them, but now I'm like thinking about other stuff now.
Yeah.
As an actor, I'm looking at the actors' performances. Like I'm not really no longer like that kid.
Yeah,
You know, where you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, this is awesome. How does this make, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, AI is also affecting. When we were talking about how AI was affecting their jobs, right? For actors.
Yeah.
But specifically, you also have another battle because you got to face the influencers. Because the influencers are taking your jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Kaisa Nat.
You know what's funny? Yeah, with influencers, I mean, sure, there is a thing in Hollywood that I'm understanding where your followers matter. Because if you're making a movie and you're like the producers or you're the back, the money people, and you need people to, what's the word? You want people to invest in your movie and give you money. The investors are going to be like, all right, who's attached to this movie? And that's why all these big actors play a role in that too. Because if I'm somebody that's like, hey, I have an idea, this wacky sci-fi cowboy movie, and you got money, and I'm like, yo, give me some money. If I told you that, Brad Pitt's going to be on it, right? You might most likely you'll be like, yeah, sure. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But if I told you, my guy Elias is on that, you don't know me, but I'm a nobody right now. Yeah, exactly. No, being dead ass. You'll be like, who the fuck is that? I'm not going to give you $5 million for a guy named Elias. I don't know who the fuck,
Yeah.
So all that to say with influencers, it matters because they want people to attach.
They need big names.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, they need big names, but they'll be like, oh, yeah, this guy got 1 million followers.
Yeah.
So they'll cast people for the sole fact of they might have X amount of followers. Now, what I will say is that, sure, theoretically, this is supposed to make sense, but like on paper, it never works out because the influencers, they can't bring people to the movie theaters like that. Like 1 million people that follow this person, not 1 million people is gonna go and see that theater. They're just they prefer seeing them on their phone.
Yeah. That is
To go out to a movie theater,
Shit, you're
like
right.
I mean, like
They only prefer them to see them for 15 seconds.
yeah, exactly.
Compared to an hour and 36.
Yeah, so it's like
That's a good point.
influencers,
Yeah.
and like the movies that come out with those influencers, to be respectful, like they don't end up getting like praise for them, it's not
that's a
some
fucking
shit.
good point.
Who talks about a good movie from like I don't know what's those girls' name, the
Milio Chillins? The Milio girls?
Yeah, the Milio girls, like they had it out during COVID, they were killing it, right?
Yeah.
But and they were trying to attach them to like
Didn't
movies.
they have a Dunkin' Donuts commercial too or something like that?
Yeah, and now we're talking. Yeah, it's like there now with commercials, maybe they take more, like they might have more power in commercials because that now you're talking brands, and that's their thing is brand association.
Wow.
So I feel like it's more about commercials. As me, I feel like influencers don't have that pull
Yeah.
in movies per se. Especially if it's movies that have special impact on like the culture, they want talent, because at the end of the day, you do need talent to do some of these crazy things that some of these roles demand you to do. But it's real. Yeah, it's like 50-50.
The whole talent thing is a good point because in today's media, or like I guess you would say movies and shows and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about it the other day, like some of it kind of lacks the talent. Like sometimes you'll have influencers like, oh, some of it work, some of it won't, and then you'll have people like yourself that have been striving for itching for roles, for gigs, for anything like that. And you mentioned to me as well that you've gone to that you're going to improv school as well, and you know, certain shows and movies and specific actors in them, some of them don't kind of have that craftsmanship, the oomph that like, you know, that the people want, that not the people want, that like people can notice that they're just there because sometimes they're viral, but other times you see people that like they don't have it in them. So like is it better to just be viral, I guess, or is the craftsmanship for the talent like still there? Like, does that matter anymore at this point?
I still think it does. I think it does. For one, like what I was saying, I think we're talking about what kind of work. Like, I want to be remembered, and I feel like actors that work on their craft, they want to be remembered for like important work that lasts for a long time. Now, there's a lot of other movies that come out that nobody talks about. Or you ever go on Netflix and you're scrolling and you're like, there's so many movies that you're probably never going to watch. A lot of them are like randoms, don't have impact or whatever. I'm not saying that there's no talented actors in that kind of stuff. But what I'm getting to, the point is that talent is required really for a lot of these roles. If you want to be in something like a Tarantino film, like big names, Scorsese, you can't just fake your way to those kind of films. So I do think if that's what you want to be in, then you got to work on your craft. If you just want to be famous and make money off of this, what's it called? Then sure, focus on being viral so that you could get to like, shady movies here and there that are like nobody talks about, that kind of thing. So that's how I look at it. I think, yes, you need the craftsmanship. You got to work on it. I go every Tuesday to these acting classes from 7 to 11 at night after work, and just like work with a bunch of talented actors that are just like, I've seen a lot of like Oscar-worthy performances in that stage.
Do you guys do monologue competitions?
It's funny. We do monologues, but it's like not so fierce like competition. It's really more like you have this teacher, Marjorie Ballantyne. She's what's it called?
Marjorie.
She works. Yeah, Marjorie. Shout out to Marjorie. She works with a lot of professionals with acting, and what's it called? Yeah, she's there. There's like, I think 25 actors in this class, and we just look at stage. Sometimes it's a monologue, sometimes it's a scene, and it's basically just she's judging you. She's giving you notes of being like, oh, I don't believe you here. When you said this line, it's very like nitpicky.
So she's real.
It's a real,
she's real
it ain't like, and here's the thing, LA, there's a bunch of like, there's a lot of like scam classes where it's just like, they're just trying to make money off these actors because it's LA. But it's real, given the kind of work I see on that stage and how they got there and what's it called? So it's very nitpicky stuff. Just so that as an actor, you're working on your craft. It's not just people being like, oh, that was so good. Like, I don't want that.
But you perform in front of all your other colleagues. Right?
Yeah, so they're there watching you.
Yo, it gets very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because if you're not one of those, because I was also aspiring actor, right? At that point, I was like studying like method acting.
Yeah.
We're talking like Stanislavski, Lee Strasberg, and all these Stella Adler, like all these
Stella Adler's the one.
Big figures that like Uta Hagen, like we'll be studying. We'll be fucking studying over and over, like deep thinking about it. I even went to Sanford Meisner workshop school in New York. Yeah. And just the method acting in itself is very interesting. But at the same time, I didn't put it in depth. I just studied it, right? So I don't have it in me. It's like almost,
you don't know that, man.
You never know,
dude. No. Like, I knew for a fact, like, I know it, but I don't have it.
Yeah.
It's not built up in me. It's like a fucking like an anime episode.
You don't have that dog.
Yeah. Like, I haven't figured out my superpowers yet.
Yeah.
Right? So there's times where it's very overwhelming because when you're going on that day and you know for a fact you can be judged for your monologue, you see somebody next to you, right? Some of these motherfuckers be fucking focused. Like they're in their character already.
Yeah.
So if they're like playing like a like a judge or something like that,
Yeah.
or like somebody who's a lawyer,
Like the
defending-
Joker.
Yeah, like the Joker.
Yeah.
They're in their fucking character right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
But then it gets very difficult.
I think this guy's method acting right
This
now.
guy's over here
This guy-
trying a Filipino Joker.
Why is so serious?
Why is so tedious?
It's just scary, bro.
No, but it got to the point where like you would go in there and you would see an amazing performance and everybody's fucking applauding and shit. Like the professor's like, oh my God, that shit was beautiful.
Yeah.
But then you're next.
Yeah. I know.
And you're like, you don't know what the fuck to do
You're
at that
like,
point.
damn.
Yeah.
I gotta go after that
Yeah,
guy.
I know. Oh, that's the worst.
I'm next.
Yeah. Me?
A pass. Go pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those moments so many times.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I don't think this, amongst all these passionate, actors,
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't really fitting in. Like I could play the
Yeah,
role that I'm passionate,
Yeah.
but I can't be passionate,
Uh-huh.
with the method acting. I couldn't apply it to my acting monologue.
Yeah.
So I would always struggle. And the funny thing is, the first script that I actually learned was the Joker.
No way.
I did.
No way.
went
You were
to-
gonna play the
which
Joker?
I went to
This
fuck-
guy?
No, no, no.
This guy?
You're like, you're a joke. You're a joke.
Where's the bad? Where's the bad man?
Oh, shit. You about to be in the next Patterson movie, too, bro? It's over, bro.
I'm Edward from fucking Twilight.
Wait, which
stay
Joker? Which Joker are you talking about?
Joker as in like Heath Ledger Joker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was so into method acting.
That's important. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah.
Yo, I remember the first day I got into acting school, I had a notebook.
Uh-huh.
And I was very passionate. I would write some stuff like, like quotes by Stella Adler and stuff like that, And I would be like ready. So the professors saw that. She was like, wow, you're very passionate. I like your notebook. I see what you're writing over here. You're a very passionate student. I was like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
She was like, can you do a monologue for us? And I was like, fuck.
Right now?
The only fucking shit I had was a Joker script.
Yeah.
Yo, I get fucking ready. I'm like, and it was all girls. There was no guys. There was no guys in my class.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A lot of Korean girls that were very passionate about acting. Moment I start, I looked up dead straight in their eyes and I was like, why so serious? Yo, the body of me was like, a part of me was like, yo, keep playing the Joker, keep playing the Joker. Another part of me was like, what the fuck am I doing over here? Right? So I wasn't fully in depth to it. I was just like, yo, let me get this fucking shit finished right now. Yeah. And let me act like I knew the shit. I finished. Everybody was like, yo, that shit was great. That shit
No
was
way. They were capping.
That is crap, bro.
They're like, yo, you are an interesting character.
Do you think you killed it that time?
I don't care. What the fuck was that?
That's one of the girls.
Honestly, I felt like I was in a position to be like, okay, I did okay, but not
That's
enough to
good.
be like applauded and shit,
Yeah.
So like when they saw me as like one of those like very passionate method actors, I was like,
Yeah.
thanks, man. Like,
Yeah.
I do this. I do
Yeah.
this.
I do this.
I
bro.
do this.
I do this.
That was all right. I just looked at the script. I just,
I do this.
I wasn't even trying.
I do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, you know.
No, I mean, I guess. Listen, I feel you. You know, sometimes I go to class and I'm like, yo, like, yeah, like I guess doubt is the word where I'm just like, you're comparing yourself with all these other guys, and you're like, then you go up, and yeah, I've had days. I think it's also like, yeah, there's some days that I did shit. And I'm like, damn, that was bad. Like I didn't feel like I was present in the moment. I felt like she would call you out sometimes where she'll be like, you weren't acting, you were reading lines.
In front of everyone.
You know, yeah, but not in like a.
Okay.
She says it.
He sucks!
Yeah, she's from the East Coast, so she's real. So it's like what kind of made me go. I kind of want to go with this one because like I saw her videos, how she talks with her class, and the more she knows you, the more blunt she will be.
Okay.
But she's also not going to embarrass you,
Yeah,
especially if you're
Some
new.
people need that.
But yeah. She works with people that have ego, and like she mentions herself. So it's like sometimes
That's
with
what's
those
up.
people,
That's
you
what's
gotta
up.
be like
Gotta humble
dicks.
them.
Yeah, you gotta be humble. You gotta humble them. So, but yeah, a way how I see that, sometimes yeah, I'm like insecure because I look at everybody else and I'm like, fuck, am I even supposed to be in this room with all these people?
Yeah.
And the way how I look at it is like, it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
You know, like I start talking with some of these actors and I'm like, yo, how long have you been in this class? And then doing acting, period. Some of these guys have been working with her for more than 3 years, 4 years. Some of them have been acting, period, for 15 years.
Damn.
So it's really about
That's
perspective.
insane.
And I look at myself when I'm like, damn, like, why am I not that person?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, well, I technically just started taking acting seriously back in like 2019, 2025. Okay, like 6 years or so. And like, you know, it's really like there's still so much for me to grow and learn.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't go to school, I didn't go to college for acting.
Yeah.
You know, specifically, in high school I didn't do like plays or musicals
That's
or
the
things
crazy
like that.
part, yeah.
You know, so it's like I did acting, everything in front of a camera. And the other thing too is knowing what your strengths and your weaknesses are. So like my teacher's telling me, she's like, comedic. She feels like my strength is the comedic scripts that I do, like whether it's a scene or monologue. She's like, you're like the timing of things. And then even though I really love drama and like that kind of stuff,
That's the thing right
you know, but I feel like it shouldn't deter you. It shouldn't deter you, bro.
Because he probably has something that he wants to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to play the Joker, but like they're like, yo, you're a comedian.
No,
Like,
exactly. And it's tough to,
like,
I want to be
you
that
trying to take
guy.
that role, you trying to tell me what I want to be?
I can't be him. Look at me. I can't be him.
Why so serious?
Yeah, dude. But it's like you gotta take your strength and be like, all right, maybe, you know, like, bro, like y'all see like Adam Sandler, like dude does, you know, comedian, right?
Yeah.
But out of nowhere, you know, he got that Uncut Gems,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But even before that, I mean, I don't know what you call this type of movie, but like the movie Click. Like that's
That's
it's
a comedic
comedy,
role.
but
Yeah,
bro,
that shit made me cry.
But bro, it made him cry. Like there's it's a sad movie too.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is you do your strength of what you do, but as you grow and as long as you work on your craft, the point is that what I'm trying to get at is like these classes I'm learning is like this is the place where you're supposed to fuck up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to fuck up and keep fucking up and being shitty. And as long as I keep showing up, the more time that I spend time over there, eventually, you know, she tells me, she's like, yeah, you grow the technique of what it means to do, in this case, Stella Adler, the technique. And then, you go from there. But I feel you. Yeah, some days or some weeks, I'm like, damn, I should quit acting maybe.
So do you yourself like straight up like I think you're talented. These guys might think you're talented.
Appreciate it.
Do you yourself think you're talented, or is this like is this like a dream that like you're pursuing that you think you could still make it, but you're just like you're there already. You got everything set up. Is that just an excuse for you to stay?
Good question.
Or are you actually like? Do you actually feel like you're in the right place? You're in the right mindset. That you can actually do something with yourself. And like I just said, like do you feel like you're actually talented and made for this?
Yeah, I think I definitely feel that one, that I'm talented in my own right, and for me, it's really about, to your point, why do I keep waking up in LA away from my family and friends, you know, all that kind of stuff, trying to make it on my own in LA. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't feel like part of me can be on that screen, you know, doing whatever it is, whatever life takes me, you know. You know, whether it's, you know, the dream thing is to be in something drama related, sure. But hey, if my strength takes me in comedy, you know, the point is I love telling stories. So like the way how I see it is like I want to be doing shit that I love doing. So it's like if I want to continue telling stories, it's like right now it's acting, it's telling characters, bringing them to life, and I just feel that with all the work that I've done so far, how far it's taken me at the moment, you know, I feel like if the moment I start feeling otherwise, you know, to the same point of like doing shit that you want to do, you know. It's like, I'll just head back to Jersey.
What's your proudest role that made you like, damn? Yeah, I'm for this. Like, this is me. Like,
I think it's a short film I did in 2022. It's called An Afternoon at Mai Chi. I always get that last name, Mai Chi. But it's basically it's Vietnam, and it's like a war film. It's a short film, and
Are we able to see this?
it's not online. I have the file.
Oh, shit.
So like they.
Bro, why haven't I seen
I
this?
know. Yeah, I gotta
We're
show you.
boys, bro.
You know what's
Like-
funny?
What's up, bro?
So like.
Legal percussion.
Oh,
Word. No,
word.
yeah. I mean,
NDA.
NDA, dog. Yeah. I might have to kill.
Vietnam, so you know what you got.
I might have to kill you telling you that. You know? I already said too much. So it's like a war film that I did, and it was shot in film.
Okay.
Meaning,
Oh, wow.
if you know what that means, it just means that like you really can't fuck up because there's a limited amount of footage you could work with.
Yeah.
With digital, all right, you just put another SD card, call it a day or whatever. But with film, dog, you only get a certain amount.
Yeah.
So we really did this film like a play. We would do the scene from like some of the scenes were long, so it was like from the beginning to the end of it, and then we'll do it again. We'll do like maybe 2 takes, 3 takes, but you really had to know your shit and do it right. But yeah, that was a challenge for me because it was like, wow, I can't fuck up. Like it was the closest thing to me to a play where, yeah, like stage acting and film acting, they're also very different mediums.
Very true. Yeah,
you
very
know?
true, yeah.
And to your point about like this technique and stuff, like the Stella Adler technique, it started from theater. So it's like, how do you do theater acting? Through Stella Adler kind of thing. But film acting is also a different level. It's like very subtle. It's a different skill you got to do. But what's it called? Sorry, all this to say is that this film, I remembered I buzzed my hair short for it to play this character, play this like New Yorker guy. And yeah, they submitted it to like film festivals around, which was kind of the reason why it couldn't be posted online. Because when you submit to film festivals, you can't have it on YouTube.
New Yorker,
Yeah.
Vietnam. What kind of story is that?
It's about these like soldiers that they're in R&R, they're injured, and they're like at the beach waiting to get deployed again. And but it's like one of those like slice of life kind of films where like you're seeing these 2 soldiers, which ends up being 3 soldiers. There's like another guy that comes in, and it's like you know what. Another guy coming in, that's what got you? Pause. I forgot, I'm in Jersey. Shit, pause. Another guy coming in. My fault.
This dude over here.
My fault. Pause. Was that what got you or what? What the fuck got you, bro?
For real, bro. Oh, I was gonna ask you. Do you know like the tech behind film?
The tech, yeah.
Like,
a little
so
bit,
is it like printed right away, like the instant you roll?
I think it has to get developed. So like my understanding of it is that like, yeah, like it's being, there's like a physical copy to it, but then I guess it gets developed in like a red room where, what's it called? That's where you actually start seeing the images.
Okay.
And then from there, I guess there's a digital. Yo, you good, bro? Nah, I'm gonna walk out, dog. You're disrespecting me, bro.
Go ahead.
This motherfucker over here.
Dog,
I'm still thinking about it.
why so serious, bro?
Why so serious?
Yo. But yeah, and then I guess it gets digitized from that.
I was wondering, cause
yeah.
you know how there's tape for music, magnetic tape.
Uh-huh.
So like, I don't know if it's similar to film, but like magnetic, you can record over it though. So I'm like, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I yeah, with film, I guess like, because there's like a type of editing when it comes to editing film back in the day. Before now, there's computers. Because I think what they did with this one was once they processed the film, they digitized it so that they can edit it on a computer. But back then, like before that, yeah, I think there was an art to like when you make a cut, that it was physical ways of making a cut. You know,
Imagine you fuck up, bro. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I can see you fucking up. Like,
I can. Oh, dog, bro, you're not gonna last a day, bro.
the fucking director is gonna be like, "Who the fuck hired this motherfucker?"
Bro. Yeah.
How do you get a role?
Yeah, dog. But I would say, yeah, that's my proudest. Just given like what I had to do. I think we won at one of the film festivals, best war short film. So we got something out of it.
There must be a lot of war films.
But
out there.
there's like, yeah, I was like,
Yo.
Did you just see his acting right there?
and scene.
So you talk. So
I'll
that's,
eventually show you. I'll send it to you. I have
hope
it.
so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I got you.
so that's your proudest.
Yeah, that's my proudest, honestly,
So,
given what it took.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
my favorite work of art by you was by far probably the Cash App commercial.
Really?
Because you had
Yeah.
you had the doorbell commercial.
Word. Yeah.
But like the Cash App commercial, you kind of see more of your because you didn't really
Yeah.
talk in the doorbell commercial. In the
I
Cash
know.
App commercial, you have some dialogue.
Yeah.
So like how was
Thank
the
you.
making of that commercial and like the whole
bro.
process of it? Like
I mean, yeah.
Cash
So,
App's big.
So
Cash
I
App's
guess
big.
I'm proud of the film thing because that's what eventually I want to be doing is film.
Right.
I guess. Yeah, I get what you're saying because the Cash App is technically the biggest accomplishment in my career so far. Sure, but no, that Cash App was crazy. So like to give you all a little backstory about that is that so back in December, I did a audition for Zillow. Right?
Whoa.
It was like apartment kind of thing.
Okay.
Apartment app. And so I did this audition, and in this audition, I knew that there's this director that I like. His name is Rami Youssef. You might know him. He has a show called Rami. He's from New Jersey too. He's a comedian.
wow.
He's an actor. He's in Poor Things as well. He's got an animated show right now on Amazon. So I'm a big fan of him, and I was like, I saw that he was directing this commercial, the Zillow one. Don't worry, I'm gonna tie it all together. And I did all that. I auditioned, and then he wasn't there in the room for the audition. But then I get a call back, and he was there virtually watching and giving me notes. And we do the thing, and they call me again for another callback. And this callback, what's it called? Funny story. I had to delay my flight coming here for the holidays so I could make it to this callback. Because I was like, it was just a commercial audition the way how I saw it. But the fact that he was attached to this, I was like, yo, if I get this would mean the world to me to be able to work with somebody like that. And so I did it. I didn't get the Zillow, right? It didn't work out. And then I go back home and I'm waiting like a week or two, nothing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I didn't get it, whatever. And fast forward, it's now February, right? Okay. So to put in perspective, let's say we're in this week, right?
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, I get an audition for Cash App. I do the thing, and
Are you allowed to put that in the public, or it has to be underkept the whole time?
What do you mean? Put what?
Like, are you allowed to tell your boys and your family, like, yo?
Oh,
like,
yeah. Theoretically, yeah. I wonder when you were doing acting, like if you were superstitious this way. But like when I get auditions and callbacks, I really don't tell anybody. In fact,
You don't want to jinx that whole
You don't want to
process,
jinx it. And also, I mean, in the beginning I did because I was naive. But as you do more of this, what's it called? Like you realize it's not a big. It's a big deal, yes. But what I mean is auditions and callbacks are just a regular interview when you're applying for a job.
Right.
You know, sometimes there's like 3 rounds of interviewing or whatever.
Yeah.
This is basically what this is.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, I get my audition. I do it, and I don't think about it. I don't tell anybody, not my family, nobody. And then Thursday comes, my agent calls me and goes, hey, you're on a veil, which just means it's you against an actor or two. But I've been here before where I'm on a veil and I'm like, oh, snap, I think I got it. And then you don't get it. So I keep calm. Later on in the day, my agent goes, oh, they want to confirm if your measurements, like, you know, or your measure, because the fashion people, but they want to know, is it up to date? I go, yes. He goes, okay, thank you. And that was it. Didn't get excited there because I've been there before and it's still nothing. So I've learned, don't get excited, whatever. And then Thursday evening, so audition Wednesday, Thursday evening comes in. My agent calls and she goes, hey, do you have your bags ready? Because you're going to Miami tomorrow morning.
Wow.
And I'm like, no way. And she's like, yeah, it's going to be a big deal. It's SAG-AFTRA. It's so you're going to be eligible now. And you're the lead in the commercial, which means they're going to give you're going to have the most lines and it's good professionally, financially, and also experience because they're going to give you, they give you like a red carpet rollout kind of feeling.
They give you good pay too.
Big, like the royalties, like that's the difference with the SAG and non-union.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday, and then Friday morning, I flew to Miami, did the fitting, and then Saturday comes, I do the shoot, And I get my makeup done, do the hair thing, whatever. And then they're like, okay, Elias, go to on set. They need you. So I go, and the first shot of the day was me being in the car. And it's funny, in that Cash App commercial, there's me like just doing the key thing. That was the first shot of the day. And I'm just there chilling or whatever, waiting. And then I look in the Ford across from me, and I see this guy coming up to me, and I recognize him, and I'm like, holy shit, wait a minute, that's fucking Rami. So the director from the Zillow was directing this shit. And he came up to me and was like, hey, man, what's up, man? My name is Rami. Nice to meet you. I'm going to be directing this shoot. And, bro, so, like, the Cash App was one thing, right? I was like, oh, wow, I know how big of a deal this is. Yeah. This right here, bro, was, like, the cherry on top that I wasn't expecting because everything was very closed off in the information about this commercial. And, like, just, I mean, I'm religious, but, like, call it whatever it is, just like that poetic justice of like the circle, you know? And yeah, we were talking about it. He goes, yeah, no, you auditioned. So the role that I did for Zillow was like a soccer player. He goes, yeah, you were the soccer guy.
So
from that,
yeah. Oh shit.
He was telling me, oh yeah, we haven't even shot that shit yet because of the fires, the LA fires that happened. Yeah, so he had time to do this Cash App shit. So it was like, man, it was. You
weren't like, yeah. Well, look at me now.
Yeah. Well, no, he's my boss. You know, he's the director. I gotta be. You know, I gotta be
like, yo, is there an open position for this?
Word. Yo, y'all still hiring? You know,
how's that soccer guy working out?
Yeah, is he as good as me? You know, do you regret? Maybe I should just rub it on his face. But nah, dude, that whole thing. I was like, it really took me. I was like, dude,
that's fucking crazy.
And it just goes to show, dude, with all this. And yeah, shot the commercial and then flew back Sunday, came back. But wow, yeah, that was Cash App, dude.
Yeah, I already know the audition process is,
bro.
Training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went for a pharmaceutical commercial that almost got me a SAG-AFTRA eligible during that time, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Was it like a spokesperson? Like,
so there was one person that showed up for the audition, and then there was like, I guess like maybe like 15 other guys.
Yeah.
That looked identical to me.
Yeah.
No way, you?
Like you
like same build?
No. You'd be very surprised that a lot of these guys might look like you or a little bit similar to your gesture because they're looking for somewhat of that character, I guess. And you go in there, you're like, oh, man, what the fuck? Like,
I thought there was only one of me.
Yeah. Like,
oh yeah, you think you're special? Hell no.
No.
Yeah.
That's when it hits you.
Yes.
Like, oh damn, this is like the fucking DMV. Everybody looks like me right now. Everybody's waiting for the same thing. But then as soon as you get to the audition, I remember as for this pharmaceutical audition, they told me to line up on a tape where they had on the front.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to look at the camera. They wanted me to. They
give you clothes.
They give you no. It's a fucking pharmaceutical commercial. No, but they were asking me. The casting director was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. Okay,
okay.
You just got the fucking news that your mom passed away. I want you to fucking cry on the scene right now."
Oh no!
No.
And
Did you do it?
I'm over here like.
No.
Fuck.
No, that's foul, bro.
I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
You worked towards that emotion and you did it. And then right after, he's like, okay, but you just got good news that your mom can be actually revived. So I want you to give me emotion that you fucking got that news that you're happy as fuck. Yo, it's a real play of emotions. Yo. I've never been to an audition like that before, but the demand on the commercial was crazy. The pay was crazy too.
Yeah.
Pay was like around $55K around there.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
I feel like
Oh my god!
They pay great if you land one of those.
Yeah, and
pharmaceutical.
I was like,
yeah.
I knew for a fact though I didn't land that job because at the end of the day, when I walked out, I was like, guys, you guys need anything from me anymore? They were like, no.
Anyone need coffee?
Yo, walking back to the audition, yo, I heard y'all might be parched.
So
coffee, bro. Yo, that's wild.
Yo, what would a Ozempic be a pharmaceutical commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know what kind of commercial you might get.
Yeah.
But like that specific commercial was very legitimate.
No, you do some wild stuff with like sometimes. Yeah, that's crazy that they made like they didn't give you a heads up like that.
No, they just gave me the scenario right off the bat. They
Cry, but
those are scary.
They just gave me an expectation of what the commercial is specifically, but they didn't tell me what role I was exactly playing.
That's
crazy.
Moment I got there, they're like, okay, so this is what you're positioning yourself to be. And I was a fucking student at that time too. So I was like, yo, I had my backpack, everything, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, I'm ready for round 2 audition or something like that.
Yeah.
But the moment after I finished first audition, they're like, okay, you can go home now. So is there like a comeback date? Like you guys can you tell me like what day I gotta come back? What time? No, it's okay. We'll email you. We'll let you know. Quote unquote. I was like, damn, I didn't get that shit.
Yeah, you never. Sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes they give you nothing and then they still hit you up.
Yeah.
It's really that's the thing too. With these rooms, you don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell. There might be some indicators.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah. Like I mean, to anybody watching, like it's like just because they say goodbye to you doesn't mean anything yet. True. It just means that like because sometimes they respect the actor's time and they don't want to hold you. Yeah. You know, because a lot of these actors, you know, they might be in the middle of a shift that they had to come here and then like head out. Yeah. So unless they know for sure they need you, and if they need you, sometimes it's because they got to see it again. And then you do it again, and then they still don't see it.
Meanwhile, I brought a sandwich in my bag just to wait.
Yo.
Just in case they call me.
That's real.
Yo, I'll be out here. Yo.
I'll be right here waiting for you guys.
You guys want to bite?
Yo.
No. It's pretty good. It's a good sandwich.
I can wrap up the set with you guys.
Hey, listen, I've had my bad share of auditions, too. Like, I've had, like, where it's like, oh, I fucked that up. I don't remember my lines. What's it called? I don't remember shit. Like I'm not prepared. Yeah. And sometimes those would be the worst. It's just like you know you bombed and you're like, all right, I guess. But in some moments I've bombed. They'll be like, all right, come back, like do it again, or whatever. There's a lot of different reasons that are in your control and that are out of your control of why you get picked or why you don't get picked. I know stories of another actor where they made it. There's like some Paramount Plus show that he made it to on a veil. You know, he was like the last round. Okay. And then he didn't get selected. And then he finds out they went a complete different route with the character at the end. Oh, wow. Where it was like a younger person. He's like in his 30s. And his competition were all in their 30s. But then they just randomly switched to like, no, let's make this character like a young guy. Damn. So as actors, you're really not supposed to take anything offended from these auditions and callbacks, because the way how I say it respectfully is like they don't know what they're looking for, and they'll say it too. Yeah. They don't know what they're looking for. They expect the actors to present what they're looking for, and then they'll be like, "This is what they want." Yeah. You know. But like, bro, before this Cash App, like that whole year before, I wasn't booking shit. It was a year. I counted how many requests and auditions that I did and callbacks. It was about like close to 60 no's.
60 no's.
Think about that, like 60 different tapes, auditions, basically no's that I've gotten to get to that one yes. And that's part of the game of being an actor that you need. That separates you from why are you doing this shit? You know, because if you're doing this for the fame and the money, you got to have a lot of patience to get to that point, because there's going to be so many no's at you, being thrown at you, but if you're enjoying the process and doing all that, you know, you're gonna be able to stick there for a long time.
You got to be hungry for it.
Yeah, you got to enjoy the process. Like every time I did an audition, you know, it's like not every. You know, sometimes you're tired and you're like, I don't want to do this shit. But you know, you're like, I get to perform. I get to play this wacky character, or you know, or a serious actor. And you know, like there's different. But that's your opportunity to perform. And as actors, that's all you really want.
It's like somebody's trusting your talent, pretty much.
Yeah,
they're like, I trust you to, you know, lead with this project that I gave you just now.
And sometimes if you're the lead, you got to make sure you know your lines and you deliver well and you can improv, you can riff a little, you know, to make that character more realistic. But I talked to Berwin. I feel like Berwin could do commercial acting or acting period. Like if he took it seriously,
dude. Why so serious?
Yeah, look at that.
This motherfucker.
Bro, hand it to him, bro. Yeah, dude, like.
Where's my Grammy?
Dog.
Wait, is it
The
a
Grant?
Grammy?
No, you lost it. It's Oscars.
Also,
Oscars.
Yeah, I'm not made for this. I'm not made for this.
Yo, just put the fries in the bag, dog. It's all right. Nah, bro. Enough, bro. Never mind. Forget I said that. But can we scratch that?
I will say though,
Yeah.
it's really really difficult though. Like that whole position. Like you kind of think to yourself, like your craft took you so far, but also you're like, damn, I want to win the lottery. Like I really want to like a lot of people are impatient. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not with the progress.
Yeah, and like I said, 60 no's to get to this one, yes. But during these 60 no's, yeah, there was moments where I was like, oh, maybe I'm just not cut out for
But
this
it's
shit.
also a learning process too. Like you're probably learning a lot of stuff as you're doing it.
Yeah, no, that's the part where it's like you have to look at it. You're kind of forced to look at it that way. You have to tell yourself like that. Be a little delusional. It's like this is part of the journey. I got to perform, and I get to perform. I made mistakes. That being said, that's why these acting classes helped me so much, because before I wasn't taking classes, these auditions were the only way I could actually perform, which is not good.
Yeah.
That means your only learning experiences is through these auditions. So if you fuck up, you're fucking up in front of important people. Whereas these classes, I do it every week, I'm fucking up over there, so that when I do these auditions, I'm not nervous and I'm more confident and I'm better than I was a week before.
I had hella fucking insecurities too, like while I was acting, because technically I'm here, right? So in the United States, a lot of these actors are like, Chris Hemsworth, you got fucking Hugh Jackman. You got guys that like look good. You got like the fucking chin line and shit. Like you got the bridge nose. And I'm that Asian actor where like, I look like fucking Bobby Lee at that point. Like I'm like, fuck. Like I want to play like, Hugh Jackman role. You know what I mean? I want to play like that lead role.
I want to be Wolverine.
But meanwhile, they're like, no. You're going to be the janitor in the background. Running for his life.
Hey man,
I feel you. Hollywood is fucked up like that. Yeah.
So I had that kind of like hesitation. I'm like, yo, I really want to play these characters.
Yeah.
But am I eventually going to play something that I really enjoy, or am I going to be leading to something that's just offered on the table?
No.
So yeah, that was a struggle.
That's where Hollywood kind of gets fucked up too. Like I think like sure a little bit like racism. It's like they kind of have certain. I think now they get better and better for sure, but. For sure, like you got UK actors playing Americans, we're talking about different competition now.
That's the crazy part.
Now there's like out of world, you got UK people playing Americans, learning the accent so that you can play, and then taking American roles.
That's a good point, because when Tom Holland became Spider-Man, I was like, yo, this motherfucker is from the UK. Like dude. He can speak fucking English like he just grew up here.
I know. No, I mean that's the talent.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh man.
I'm Spider-Man.
But that's talent. That's the point is competition is fierce. But yeah, sometimes they do shit like that where it's like if you like my theory, for example, was like I had long ass hair. Like super curly, like it was. I mean, it's longish, but like it used to be even longer. And like the roles that I would get were definitely different than like the roles that I get now. And when my hair was shorter, because to your point, it's about appearances and like what you give off, And with when my hair was longer, I was getting more wacky roles, right?
You know what's so funny? The bass player I was talking about.
Yeah.
Right? When we were at Berkeley, he had really long hair. And then he decided to shave it all off while we were there.
Yeah.
And then our classmates would be like, yo, I can't take you seriously anymore. You don't look like a musician.
Yeah,
like,
isn't that
way? Really?
Yes,
like,
that's crazy.
Your hair can take you a long way, bro. You never know, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, for better or for worse, but like your appearance, there's a lot, hair, whatever it is. There's a lot of different factors.
I do wanted to ask you too, because like if I give you a hypothetical scenario, right?
Okay, yeah.
You have a fucking role in Hollywood.
Okay.
And you're looking, we were talking about Berwyn's also auditioning for it, and you're also auditioning for it.
Okay.
But this is for a role of a Filipino man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You get offered the role instead of Berwyn.
Okay.
Would you take that fucking role? And would you actually like? I'll be like, you know what?
And what car would I buy with that money?
Yeah. You're like fuck all the cultural appropriation shit. You're like, yo, let me just take this role. Forget fucking Berlin. You know what I mean? You could be homeless. You know. But
Word.
would you genuinely take that role if you were offered it and it was just not fitting to your image?
Yeah, the answer is no, and I've had this conversation. Yeah, real friends.
It's real.
Yeah. No, you know what it is. It's a mixture of I've been thrown this scenario, but differently. So like they'll be like,
really?
Yeah. So I've gotten this question, but it's like, oh, okay, what if they told you that I had to play, let's say, a gay character, right? That kind of thing. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable playing that kind of character. And also Hollywood isn't like now, which I like, is that basically it's like, we don't want you playing something that you're not, you know, like there's levels to it. It varies or whatever. But like now you see roles, like let's say if it's a gay role, like a queer role, whatever it is, they're going to probably want to look for somebody that, you know, is actually of that cloth, because it's like, it's more authentic. You don't want to do, you don't want to do like Tropic Thunder, you know, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've moved on from that kind of time, you know?
That makes sense.
So like, you know, I'll get the bag eventually somehow, but no, I don't feel comfortable doing something that it's like, if I can't apply myself in this role, like any aspect of it, you know, I will start feeling uncomfortable. If I feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to do a good job.
Your agent calls you and he's like, oh, so we need a 5'3", very well fit, fashionable, strong,
okay, keep them coming, yeah.
Asian descent,
okay,
of a man,
yeah,
and we're willing to give you 50,000 right now, cash.
If I could find that person.
But we want you to play that person.
Play that.
Are you taking? You're not gonna take that?
No.
100K.
No.
Damn.
No.
Not even 2 million.
That's
now we talking.
You're like,
I'll get on a call with my agent right now. Y'all can talk it out.
You're like the role was never the problem.
It wasn't. Yeah,
you weren't speaking.
It was
my
the
language.
money. You're throwing easy numbers. Yeah, I need more.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I'm like I try to play music I don't really know.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's like kind of with the band I'm in right now, I guess. But I mean, we're more comfortable with each other now. But like,
band right now.
Yo, that's crazy.
He's low-key confessing.
Yo,
Right now.
drop the diss track, yo. Drop it.
I'm not trying to say any shit.
Yeah.
He's confessing his
It's
departure.
Just, chill.
Yo,
No. Oh yeah. Oh, I asked you guys that I would promote my show, but
Yeah. Go ahead.
after.
Wait.
Yeah, we'll just cut it.
Cut it in post, bro.
He's like all passionate.
Hey, say what you want, bro.
Yeah, because they approached me with their music, and I was like, I don't listen to this music.
Yeah.
So it was just like really awkward. But I mean, I guess we became chill with each other.
I mean, to your point, I mean, if you want to put it out there, but like, if you're making money with this band, if you're paying bills with this band, right, that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah,
like when it comes to making decisions about how do you move forward, you know, like with commercials, for example, you know, you're like, oh, I get a bunch of auditions from all these different brands. And sometimes you got to say no to some of them, but your agent is going to be pushing you to do it. And you got to make a decision of whether or not you want to do it or not. And sometimes it's tricky because once you have people like an agent representing you, every time you say no, that means they don't get that. You're cutting them from a potential check. So, you know, they're not gonna they're gonna be pushing you. Not my agent is great, but she does push me in a good way to be like, do it and see what happens, you know?
That's good.
You know, do it and see what happens. Maybe just to get you in the running, just so that casting directors get to know you. Kind of thing.
It's not like, yo, I know you need the bag, but we need the bag.
Yeah, no, because
She's Asian,
We.
so she kind of got to get the commission. So.
yeah. So she gets a cut. She gets what's it called? She gets her own cut, and like she.
cool, that's
but
cool.
when you're an agent, a successful agent, you have multiple clients.
Yeah.
So the good thing is, it's not like they're desperate for you. You know, they got like hundreds of other actors they represent. PSA: if you got to pay for your agent, it's a scam. So anybody watching,
True.
if anybody goes, oh yeah, just pay me X amount, like, because I've been seeing some BS scams being thrown out there and people just not knowing. They think, oh yeah, I gotta pay this guy to find me jobs. Is like, no, that's not how it works.
That was a big trouble, yeah.
There's in LA too.
Really?
Yeah. People, I mean, bro, I was seeing Instagram people were posting on their stories casting calls for like some Nike commercial, and they're like, oh yeah, if you post this on your story, we will cast you. We'll take a look at your account. Like, that's not how it works, bro. Like, I was like, I don't know how to tell these people, like, that's not how it works. But it's because of lack of not knowing.
Right.
No one better when he would have provided the social security number.
I
What do
know,
you need,
bro? For
what
the
do you
bag,
need,
yo.
You need pics?
Nike commercial?
Yeah, dog.
Next to LeBron James? I'll take it.
You know,
Is MJ gonna be there?
like, yeah, dude. You know, it's very tricky, but I mean, I'm just getting started, but like,
That's awesome.
I imagine as you get further, it does get tricky. You know, certain shady roles. You're like, should you do it? Should you not? One bad role could like cost you forever.
You should go to like foreign countries and try it out too. You know, you never
think?
know.
I
They might need a man like you. You never know. And you might be like, you know, the popular Caucasian guy amongst all those Asian people.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, if I get to just do what I love,
Yeah.
you know, hey, if I'm in like a Spanish novela, whatever it is,
Oh, that'd be sick.
yeah, like I mean, the point is I want to hopefully be doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, as long as I'm able to do that and I'm happy. It's funny enough, I did a film.
Oh, you did, right?
A digital series that was technically in China. Like, it's a Chinese company. They have a streaming platform that they made, like, they shoot it like a movie, but I think they release it as like a digital series, episodic, all vertical. So it's like their own app. And what's it called? Yeah, I remember I did that, and that was like a weird experience. And it's very popular now in LA.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of casting calls for these kind of films. They pay good, but then you do it. Luckily, it wasn't like an important role for me.
Yeah.
Because after I experienced that, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this again.
Yeah.
Because sure, the pay is good, but it's like questionable scripts, questionable characters, and just questionable environment that I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this ever again. And hopefully nobody sees that. It's somewhere out there, but yeah, I think I had like a line. So it's like, what's it called?
So you've come a long way.
I might be famous over there. Who knows?
You've come a long way is
What's
what,
it called?
is what you're basically saying.
I mean, yeah, sort of. Compared to Unfiltered, for sure. The podcast, yeah.
Damn. So like,
Yeah, compared to that. I mean, back then it was YouTube sketches. It was all that. And, you know, I'm learning as I go. I don't have family in the film industry. I'm learning everything as I go. And what I like to do is like, I try to, you know, kind of like what I'm doing here when I talk to people, is like trying to tell people the rights and wrongs about this shit, because there's scams, there's things like that. And, you know, my only goal is to just see how far can I go, you know? And if that inspires, you know, my nephew, if that inspires my friends back at home, you know, or anything like that, to be like, yo, I'm going to do what I want. There's a lot of people, dude, that like, they're doing shit that they don't want to do, knowing that they want to do something creative. But they're like, I don't know how it gets done, or how do you get to that point? And I get it. I was there. I was like, how do you go from I want to be an actor to then, you know, you get an agent or you book a commercial? Like, how do you get to that part? Everything is like all like smoke and mirrors. You don't know, but what's it called? Once I figured out what it is, that path, what it takes, like on a professional level, I was like, oh, let me try it out now that I know.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no.
So if someone gave you the opportunity or to grant opportunity to grant you a wish to change it all back, would you do it?
Change it all back?
Was it all worth it? Like,
He quote unquote saying he misses you.
I know, dude. We gotta talk privately.
Yo.
I think.
cut the cameras, cut the cameras, cut the cameras.
Yo, fuck.
What you mean? You got control of the cameras?
I'm abandoned by child.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked.
No.
Well, I mean, hopefully,
Nah.
Was it worth it though? Like, this whole thing has been worth it.
It's been worth it so far. We'll see where it goes because I think
Said fuck us.
because like yeah, dude. The fuck? I just got to work with Rami, bro.
You ain't need us though.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch up real quick. I'm just waiting for the opportunity to do so. What's it called? But yeah, I think I lost my train of thought. Oh, is it worth it? Yeah, there's some times where I'm like, damn, this shit's a pain in the ass, and like, how long will it take to get to? Like, my goal right now is to just be a working actor.
Right.
Like where it's like, okay, I get to work being part of TV shows, movies, whatever it is. That's what pays the bills mostly, That's what I would really love to be at that point. Everything else is just bonus, and so... But yeah, I mean, LA, there's some ups and downs about living there. I've experienced, and still to a certain extent now, it's like you get lonely, or it's funny because like before it was loneliness, now it's like you feel alone, but you got people around. But the quality of friends is kind of like, okay, this is just kind of like friends for a reason, whether it's actor friends or whether it's, I play soccer and it's like, okay, we soccer buddies or whatever. But like true friendship, like the people that I got here, in the Ville, it's like, I don't have that. And I mean, I'm only 3 years there, but I really am working.
He said there's no one like bro in Ville.
There ain't, bro. There ain't. But yeah, you're irreplaceable.
He goes
now.
A few months later, he goes back and he finds the exact Filipino just like you. He takes a photo of him.
Shit. You know what? I might have to do like an audition, but just for like my Filipino friend.
15 Berwins.
Yeah.
What car do you drive?
Yeah.
RAV4?
Yeah, But there's a little bit of, like, I'll be real. Yeah, it's like, there's that crazy aspect about LA. When you're doing it on your own, it's a little bit of that. But now it's like, I'm working on trying to make a community, a home away from home kind of shit. Awesome. It might take a little bit long, but there's a little bit of that. Living in LA is expensive, obviously. So it's like, I work, theoretically, it's like 4 different jobs to make everything work and pay for rent and student loans.
Wow.
Like balancing everything all at once by myself. So it's tricky. You know what I'm saying?
Bills are bills, man.
Bills are bills, dude.
Bills are hard regardless of what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have a question right now, but how did you, did you have a job there already before you moved? Or
No. So funny enough, so when I did the move to LA, so the year and a half before then, I was working Amazon, like delivery driving trucks for a whole year and a half, saving up my money because I was living with my parents, so I didn't have to worry about, rent like that. And once the move happened, so my roommate was working a full-time corporate job in the industry, like in the entertainment. Like he's Eric, if you're watching this, shout out to Eric. Not that Eric. What's it called? Yeah. What's it called? Yeah. And he was like working remotely, and his office was just waiting to buy an office to work in person. But then he got the call after a year and a half, and he's like, all right, let's go to LA. So we did, and I had no job. So I was looking for anything quick at the moment. So I did CVS for 2 weeks. I was like, because I did Walgreens for 4 years during college. So I was like, all right, let me do customer service. Like, I know how to do that. And luckily, my first year, I didn't have to do student loan bills. So I was only focused on rent at the time.
Okay.
So I was just focused. I had a number, and I was like, all right, just got to make that amount, and I should be fine. So CVS, I was doing that for 2 weeks. But I was applying for, because I studied film. So I was applying for video editing jobs. And this is kind of a wacky story. So I was applying to different places. And so, yeah, when I first went to LA, it was just CVS for 2 weeks. And that was that. And I had a little bit of savings to cover me for like the first 2 months. To buy me time or whatever. So I'm applying to different video editing jobs. I find this one spot that's a hair transplant restoration clinic. Like, what's it called? It's this Korean doctor who's well known. like for his like the way how he does the hair transplants is like very well known. What's it called? People from around the world come to go see him. And so he needed a video editor for his social media stuff. And so I did the interview, and what's it called? They told me no at first, but then like a week later, they called me back, and they were like, hey, can we hire you? Oh, so the biggest red flag, the reason why they said no to me, later on I would find out, is because I told them I was an actor. Which... That's another tip. Never tell your if you're gonna do full time or part time. Kind of don't tell them. Okay. But I'm an honest person, so sometimes I shoot myself in the foot because they'll be like, "Oh, so what brought you here in LA?" I was like, "Oh, so I'm actually first here, for acting." And so they said no originally because of that, but I guess they couldn't find somebody else because they called me back and they're like, "Hey, let's hire you as an independent contractor," and so that started. And I've been with them now for like 3 years.
Wow. Oh, you're still with them?
I'm still with them.
Oh, shoot.
And
what's the doctor's name?
J-Pack.
Oh, J-Pack.
Dr. Yeah, Dr. J-Pack.
You know him?
Yeah. Probably don't.
Yeah, so high school.
Elias. I like cool. Oh, your editing. Oh, my goodness.
For the record, he does not sound like that. Listen, bro, I gotta clean myself up. I can't be laughing at this shit.
He's like, Mr. Pack looks at the podcast. The fuck?
Fire his ass.
Like that?
Yeah. But that started from that, and now it kind of blossomed into now me doing it freelance. So it's like I do their social media and then like 3 other clients. So basically what pays the bills is social media management for small businesses.
Shoot, social media manager.
Dude, yeah, no. Yeah. So you get it, bro. Like that kind of like lifestyle, it's like it's a little bit wacky. Shoot. So it's fun. It's a fun job, and I get to do what I love. Yeah. Like it's video editing, it's content creation. I started with YouTube, like that's how I kind of move. It's like if CVS was my survival job, but like once I found this shit, that it blossomed to what it is now. The good thing about it is it's all independent contracting. So as an actor, I get to move my schedule around, flexible,
That's good,
and just do what I like to do. But yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
Well, hopefully, man, next time you come over here, bro, we'll have the podcast a little bit more updated. Next thing you know, it's closed. Our first episode and our last one.
The last one. Yeah, dog. No, you have a good setup, I think you guys are way better advanced than how we first started, dude. Because when you and I did it, it was
just
not like this.
A camcorder and dreams.
Camcorder recording, our audio was from the camcorder. I remember.
And it's those camcorders where you gotta hold it like that.
Oh,
so we had it on a tripod, but it was still it's it was a good time though. But y'all, no, I'm excited to see what you guys do with this.
Glad you came on, bro. Glad you came on.
Thank you for having me. Hopefully,
guys, just for the audience knows, we pay for his flight to come over here.
Very special. Yeah,
he's staying at a 5-star hotel, all expenses paid.
Yep. I'm not a cheapo. Y'all gotta pay up.
We got him for a very big price.
Exactly. So if y'all want to talk to me,
Dan,
did you have not your funny
question?
No.
Oh.
What's it called?
So before we wrap up,
do
you still want to do this part or no?
No, I think it'll be fine. I don't think you'll take an OnlyFans role. No,
I've had an opportunity.
Oh shit!
Not OnlyFans, but it was an email from Backstage. Like, for those that don't know, Backstage.
Yeah, Backstage is for
it's like an actor. It's a way for actors to find gigs.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking something else.
Oh yeah, you might be thinking like Craigslist. It's not Craigslist. It's Backstage is like. It's basically for actors to find roles and gigs, and sometimes, as you might remember or had any experience, sometimes there's shady roles that come up your way, or you get requests. And this company that was a nudist website, they were looking for a model to I guess it's to present their products that they sell.
Okay.
But I have to be naked reviewing them.
I thought you were about to say the product.
Well, sometimes, there's some. Yeah. Well, that's part of it. That's the bonus.
So they wanted you to be fucking butt naked too.
Butt naked and just review products. It wasn't. It was funny because it wasn't so
crazy.
sexual.
Okay.
Because
You're reviewing Colgate.
yeah, no, like yeah. I mean, there was like erotic toys and then like just
Oh.
lingerie or like outfits or whatever. But like they wanted you to. And the funny thing, they were like, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can wear
Word?
masks. Yeah, and they were gonna pay. Let me remember the number. I think they said like. I think they said something like every video you did was either I think it was 500 or 1,000. I think realistically would be 500, but like it was an ongoing thing. So the more videos you did, the more money they would send you. Wow. So you could make it into a part-time job or full-time job.
Butt naked every fucking day.
No
for that
face.
shit.
No, yeah,
No
you could
face,
hide
no
your mask.
case.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I was
shit.
like, nah, that shit could track to me. If somebody could like trace, you know,
Like,
It's some
yo,
girls
I
like,
see, I know
yo,
that dick print, you know. Yeah, I was like, nah, I don't want that
I've
shit.
seen that before.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I was like, but that was the one time I've gotten a offer like that. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Shoot.
So it
Wow.
happens. But to answer your question, yeah, no, that's a different game.
No.
You know,
Oh.
that's I don't think I could fierce up. You know, what happens if I'm in the room and it's like the air conditioning is like so cold and I can't perform to
Can you
my
guys turn the
maximum-
AC off?
Yeah, dog.
Can you guys turn
There's
the
like
AC
stage
off?
fright, there's audition fright, and then there's that kind of fright. You know, I'm good, dog. Let me stick to let me stick to this.
Wow.
Well, congrats. I wish you all the best.
I love
in
how
your
we
acting
ended with
career.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
before we
silver
before we
note.
end, we are
word. Oh, yeah.
we are an Asian podcast.
Yes.
So I have 3 questions for you. First question,
Mm-hmm.
they're all speed questions, so you got to
Word.
All right?
Okay.
First question: what's your go-to Asian food?
Right now it's kimchi rice and like this. There's like a Korean like chicken like popcorn. I don't know the name of it, but it was like that shit is good. It's like a secret sauce. It's in LA. It's in Korean KBBQ. That's the name of the spot. I'll be getting that shit right now.
Okay.
Next
BBQ.
next question: favorite Asian actor,
Asian actor is
if you have one, or
Yeah, you don't even have to say it. You know what I mean? Like, there's not many.
or artist.
Steve
Doesn't even have to be an actor. Could be a songwriter.
Steven, he's good.
Yeah.
Um,
Bobby Lee.
Sure, Bobby Lee, we'll throw him in there. Yeah, no, can't think of it right now on the top of my head.
And last question: go-to karaoke song.
Karaoke song? Oh, it's definitely it's the one that got away. Katy Perry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now we know. Certified
Yes,
Asian over here.
I was
Certified
like,
Asian.
I was like so confused for a second. I'm like, Katy Perry's Asian. I was like,
Oh,
was
you say
wait,
karaoke Asian?
Karaoke song.
No,
Oh,
it
just
doesn't have to
karaoke,
be-
period.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Asians love karaoke. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, got you. But yeah, that's my go-to. Word. I was like, oh shit. I think I got the question wrong. Maybe she is Asian. Who knows?
solid.
Well, appreciate your answer to
Yeah.
those questions, and thank you for coming out.
For sure.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you guys.
That's a wrap on today's plate. Keep the rice hot, the spice honest, and we'll see you where the truth always tastes better. Thank you.
Wow.
Bang!
All right.
Woo!